The U.S. electricity grid is undergoing rapid changes. The retirement of conventional sources of electricity, an increasing reliance on renewables and natural gas, and other new technologies are all changing how we generate and use electricity. But this transition can't happen overnight. Fossil fuels produced more than 60% of U.S. electricity last year. Removing all CO2 emissions from the electricity sector by 2035 would require gas and coal to be replaced with more than 700,000 megawatts of renewables, battery storage, nuclear power, and other technologies.
Transitioning the electric sector is more than just retiring coal plants and building renewables to replace them.
The rolling blackouts and electricity rationing in California during the summer of 2020 show the need to be careful about moving away too quickly from fuel-secure baseload resources.
The coal fleet is important because we need to have generation that's available to operate 24/7.
Moving too quickly will also be devastating for many American workers and their communities. The coal fleet and its supply chain, including coal production, transportation, and equipment manufacturing, were responsible for more than 185,000 jobs last year. Coal-fueled electricity will be needed for the foreseeable future. It's one of our most reliable, resilient, and secure fuel sources, more resilient and fuel secure than natural gas, and unlike renewable sources, doesn't require significant new infrastructure to supply reliable electricity. The owners of the nation's coal fleet have invested over $100 billion in emissions control technologies over the past 2 decades. These past investments have enabled the nation's coal fleet to reduce emissions of traditional air pollutants by more than 90% from where they were just 20 years ago. Carbon emissions from the coal fleet have declined by 56% over the past decade.
The United States is the only country in the world that has the innovation and drive to design and develop carbon capture systems that can be used both in our country and worldwide to responsibly capture CO2 emissions.
While the grid continues this transition, it is important to remember that the coal fleet complements other electricity resources by providing reliability, resilience, fuel diversity, and fuel security attributes.
Technology advances can enable the U.S. and other countries to further reduce CO2 emissions and still responsibly use coal.
As America builds a 21st century energy grid, clean coal technologies will play a critical role. Innovative emission controls, carbon capture technologies, and other advancements will help ensure affordable, reliable energy and a clean environment.